Hi guys, I'm Shmee. Hello, good morning to you and welcome to the Mercedes-Benz channel where you join me on a beautiful day at the 2018 Goodwood Festival of Speed. It's the 25th anniversary year. It's one of my favourite events in the calendar to attend. You can find cars from just about every era of motorsport through to the lineup of the latest supercars. Join me on a journey as we go to discover exactly what's going on. The Festival of Speed takes place in the grounds of Goodwood House, centred around the hill climb track, with cars blasting up throughout the day. Mixed into that, you also have paddocks, featuring just about everything on four wheels or two. Sometimes you don't know which way to look, but you also have stands from manufacturers and suppliers, so let's head to the Mercedes-Benz stand and see what's on display. As you can hear in the background, we're right down beside the track now. The stand has a viewing platform with Mercedes Me to see the cars as they blast and make their way up. But on display, you will find the Mercedes-AMG Project 1, the hybrid hypercar featuring the engine from the championship-winning Formula 1 car. We'll take a look at some other very special historical Formula 1 and Grand Prix cars later on. But also here, you'll find the latest lineup, from the G63 to the new A-Class. You also have the GLC and the facelifted C-Class. This is an area for customers to come down and take a look in more detail at the cars they might be interested in, or just to see what's going on. And a big part of Goodwood is the atmosphere everywhere you go. But let's go for a wander over towards the supercar paddock. This is one of my favourite places because you can find the best from every manufacturer. They all bring their latest lineups to the show, parked side by side ahead of their opportunity to go for the run up the hill climb, where most of the crowd get to see the cars for the very first time. Some very rare and special cars that can all be found literally right here. Then we arrive at the beast of the green hell, the Mercedes-AMG GTR. With the 4-litre bi-turbo V8, this car was developed at the Nürburgring. It's painted in Green Hell Magno, the name of the colour, presented here again 2 years after it was first launched at the Goodwood Festival of Speed. If we continue beyond the GTR, we arrive at the new S63 Cabriolet, the facelifted version of the S-Class convertible, now also featuring the Panamericana front grille, displayed proudly at the front. This side of the paddock is First Glance, where there's plenty more to be seen and heard, including the new G63 from AMG, the ultimate off-roader. Then beside that, we have an important debut from Mercedes, the dynamic debut of the new AMG GT 4-door. This is the GT63S with 639 horsepower. It brings the AMG GT Coupe styling to a new platform with rear doors, 4 doors, 5 seats. What a grand tourer that must be. From the new to the old, and a history of Mercedes-Benz in motorsport, starting off with two very significant cars in completely different ways. Firstly, we have the 1934 W25. This was the car that introduced the legend of the Silver Arrows. In that year, 1934, the Grand Prix Championship introduced a 750 kilogram weight limit. The car at the time weighed 751. So how to save that 1 kilo? Take off the white paint, strip it down to the raw silver finish, and the car won its very first race. Behind that, 60 years further forward, we have the 1998 World Championship winning car from Mika Häkkinen, the car that was raced in the Formula 1 season, that came here in 1999 with Nick Heidfeld at the wheel and set the outright record time up the Goodwood Festival of Speed hill climb with a time of just 41.6 seconds. We've had the red arrows in the air, but we have more silver arrows here in the paddock. So after their successes in racing in 1934 and 1935, 36 was less successful. So for 1937, the W125 was introduced, still weighing just 750 kilos, but now with 600 horsepower, back in the 30s. As time went by, new regulations were introduced in an attempt to slow the cars down. So the 1938 W154 had a significantly reduced engine displacement, but still made 450 horsepower. It was also the introduction of the style of front grille that we see now on the AMG models that we took a look at earlier. In that same year, the W125, the record car chassis that we're looking at here, headed to the Autobahn south of Frankfurt down towards Darmstadt and set a record for a car on a public road, driving at a speed of 432.7 kilometers per hour, a record that stood until recently when Koenigsegg did the same in the United States, almost 80 years as the record car, and this is the chassis from that very one. Following on from that, in 1939, the team set about creating a car that could obliterate their own world record. What we're looking at here is the T80 record car, or the chassis of it that's been reintroduced, making a debut here. It's powered by a 44.5-litre V12 with a maximum power output of 3,500 horsepower. The intention was that it could set a new record of between 600 and 650 kilometers per hour, but unfortunately with the breaking out of the Second World War, it never got an opportunity to go out and run, but it's been represented for all to take a look at right here. Freshly back from its own run on the hill climb is the 1955 300 SLR. This is Fangio's car that was the World Championship winner in that year, the sister car to the car in which Sir Stirling Moss set an absolute record on the Mille Miglia of 10 hours, 7 minutes and 48 seconds. The difference was that Stirling Moss was driving with a co-driver, Dennis Jenkinson, to navigate him along the way. Fangio was just half an hour behind, driving on his own. And then beyond is the 98 CLK LM. This was a poster car for me, a poster race car of its era, racing in the 24 Hours of Le Mans. And to top it all off, there we have it, the Formula One cars as well, from the Mercedes-AMG Petronas Motorsport team, the Lewis Hamilton car, as well as Valtteri Bottas himself driving over the weekend. But it's been an extraordinary event, an unforgettable one, with all cars from different eras of motorsport, from the 1930s record cars through to the current production models that have recently been introduced. We've seen it all, but I hope you've enjoyed this look at the 2018 Goodwood Festival of Speed. But that's it from me for now. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Cheers!